In July, I had 0 inbound leads. In fact, I also had 0 leads from outbound activities as well. Apart from servicing my existing clients, little happened in my business in July, and there are many reasons why this was the case. Some might put it down to the summer slump, others will say that my business is too new to get any inbound activity. There's also the small factor though that I took 5 weeks leave. The truth of course is that it's a combination of all three, or maybe my business is just doomed for failure. As a solopreneur or small agency owner, taking time off can be one of the most challenging tasks that you face in business. In the startup phase, if you stop working, the business stops. Both those current projects and live projects, and the development of your business for any future activities. And last week, I saw this post on social media from an entrepreneur who noted they were going on their first holiday in 5 years of business. I will also note they didn't say they were taking the whole time off. And this is comparable with my own experience and the experience of many business owners that I know personally. But if you follow any of those TikTok influencers or business gurus online, they'll make it sound like you can take a holiday when you want and work from wherever you want as an entrepreneur. For the most part though, this couldn't be further from the truth. The thing is though, you work incredibly hard to grow your company, and the compounding effect of this work is that it should start to grow. But how can you take time off and not put yourself 10 steps back any given year? And to be honest, it is pretty hard, and it is really hard at the start. But as you add systems and you add processes and possibly even some team members, it should eventually become easier. In short, this comes with stability. And that is the purpose of this video. How can you as a business or agency owner take time off? How can you create consistency and stability in your company to leave the business, if only momentarily? And let's get into that. Firstly, preparation is key. Work just won't magically disappear because you're on holiday. Your pre and post holiday workloads are going to be higher. Either you're going to work a bit harder on the shoulders of your holiday, or you need to take on less work, or alternatively, you could bring in some support to help you. 2 to 3 weeks before any holiday, personally, I would have emailed or called each of my key clients to get an understanding of any upcoming projects or deadlines, very important, that they would have. And the purpose of this is to get any work scheduled in as early as possible. Your clients know you're away, they need to get it scheduled in, or they're going to plan for it on your return. And you have a decision to make. Are you prepared to work when you're away? In an emergency scenario, possibly. But if so, you're going to need to prepare any files or materials that you might need. I don't know about you, but I've been in some locations where the internet's been terrible. Downloading files is not possible. It's been a nightmare. Thankfully today, a lot less, but it can still happen. And you may also go with the freelancer or the contractor route, and again, you're going to need to prepare materials for them if you're partnering with them in your absence. And it can be tempting to schedule all your social posts when you're away. Of course, that comes with more work, and you have a decision to make there as well. If you pause your marketing activities, will this disrupt the sales or business development in your business? And if so, and you're worried about that, you're going to have to plan your posts and do the work up front. And if not, let me just tell you, it can always wait. Having a look at my data from my own LinkedIn during my time away, look, this is what will happen. My reach dropped to pretty much 0. I was not engaging with any prospective clients, nor was I being seen in their feed. Actually, good point to remember, go to moveapace.com and download my social selling guide. It's a sales strategy that I use, and it's a strategy I'm using all the time in business. It works really well, except when you're on holiday. Look, my regular interactions and inbound leads dried up entirely, as will yours. So there's a lot of talk, of course, about feeding the algorithm and ensuring that your content is being seen by relevant people. The bottom line is though, that if there's no activity, there can be no positive result. So if you need some content to be live, do so. If not, you can always pause. And as you can see by my graph, and I can tell you since then, it's just gone like that, really through the roof. It doesn't matter if you take a break. And this actually all poses the only real question, my only real concern in the early days of business. If your income is likely to be lower because of annual leave, can you afford it? And I'm not talking about the cost of your trip, but the reduction in income and the cost involved and the time taken of getting back to full steam after the break. One tip that I would always advise is to ensure you prepare for this months in advance. Putting a little aside to offset any potential loss in revenue is the key to not worrying about it when the time rolls around. The bigger the financial buffer you have, the less stressed you're going to be when there's no income coming in. And good, if you've decided then that you're going to switch off and you're going to head away, congratulations. You've made the best choice, I promise. And I can see you right now sitting on that sun lounger, sipping your Mai Tai or 2 or 3 before. You might be feeling a little bit guilty about taking some time out of the business. And I promise there's absolutely rarely a problem or issue that cannot wait till you're home. Remember, your clients' emergencies are never yours. You may have chosen though to do a little bit of work while you're away, and also know that that is fine, but do set yourself boundaries. Whenever I was away, I dedicated time to work on the majority of my early year travels. I checked emails, where possible delegated tasks, and I always replied to people to let them know that I'd actioned their non-priority work on my return. Understand this point. You are entitled to time off. Being anxious about this is of course normal, but remember, it's just a pause, not the off switch for your business. But it is important that you actually switch off when you're away, so do turn off your notifications, both in your watch and on your phone. Take time to relax and decompress now, because the time out of your business will give you the energy and the motivation to grow it further on your return. And remember, it is also fine to use this downtime to brainstorm. Rarely does great creativity happen in the midst of deadlines, targets, and busy schedules. Bring a notepad or jot down ideas, or do what I used to do, create a mind map and wreck your team's head. Take a look at this! Most importantly though, enjoy your time off. You have earned it. And once your holiday's over, we need to think about getting back to business. You may have experienced that Sunday night dread in your career. Often, the night before you return to work when you're the owner, this can be amplified. There are varying trains of thought on how best to deal with these Sunday scaries. Personally, I like to tackle them head on.
Work to forward.
And I do this by making a list of everything that I need to achieve the following morning. I'll be honest, if it suited me to do so, I started my email replies on the aeroplane home. Saving them the drafts, of course. I'm not a psycho. But whatever your process, the most important thing is to get yourself motivated for that first hour, that first day, and that first week back. How are you going to make this a success? What tasks do you need to complete to make this happen? And prioritize these. So ask yourself, right, what tasks are you going to make the biggest impact on your return to work? Do you need to focus on business development, or is client management right this second critical? Clear the decks, get back on track, and use this bout of energy to focus and move your business forward at pace. That sounds familiar. For many people, the hardest part of returning home from your time away is getting that motivation to ramp up activity once again. And I get it. Relaxing by the pool, spending time with the family, spending time alone or with loved ones feels amazing. But none of that would be possible without you putting the effort into your business. It paid for it. And if you want more holidays, you want better holidays, or indeed you want to retire early someday, then you need to get your head back into business quickly. And I always found myself that taking time out of the business gave me a renewed sense of urgency. When I was traveling, I stayed in beautiful places and admired the wealth around me. And yes, I wanted some of it. And it gave me that drive to kick our business into a higher gear and work towards our very ambitious goals. Look, let me know in the comments if you agree with me or you have any tips to help people prepare, enjoy, and get back into work whenever they return from their holidays. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you like what I have to say, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or by visiting moveatpace.com.